And of course, we also... I'm just messing this all up.
She's still so starstruck she can't talk.
Sunday. I got shirts made.
You said Channel Sunday. It's Channel Sundown. Channel Sunday. How long have you been doing this?
Hi guys, it's Amanda here, your Kitty of Carnage.
And I'm JESS KORESH, the con man.
Here on Channel Sundown. Channel Sundown.
Are you ready to get sundown with the sickness?
Today's episode is going to be a fun one because, guys, we are a few days a little behind because we've been traveling, but this past weekend we attended GEEK'D 2019 GEEK'D in Shreveport, Louisiana. Louisiana. We put ERs on everything down here in Texarkana.
Texarkana.
Texarkana. You guys laugh, but the people actually say Texarkana.
GEEK'D was a very lively event. Had all kinds of people there. There were obviously a lot of people selling comic books, a lot of comic book setups, a lot of pop figures. If you collect pop figures, this was the event for you. But there was a lot of cool merch, a lot of indie vendors making jewelry and swords and axes. And there were lots of celebrities and actors and actresses.
And cosplay.
A lot of cosplayers. A lot of underage children that were unsupervised. There were...
yes. A lot of underage children now supervised in cosplay.
Like, I'm not really into Dragon Ball Z, but there was a lot of Dragon Ball... I think there was a lot of Dragon Ball Z stuff going on because I think they pretty much had the entire voice cast of Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z or all that. So there were a lot of younger people there that were dressed up in wigs and, you know, costumes that I'm assuming were related to Dragon Ball. So, I mean, they were having fun, you know.
Among the many celebrities that were there were also comic book artists. But among the artists were Roland Paris and Mars.
And there were a lot of really cool independent artists there too
yes,
that weren't necessarily famous, but that had done sketches or posters or movie-related or comic book-related things that were really good. There's a lot of if you're it's very easy to spend a lot of money at these things because you just see so much cool stuff. You're like, oh, I gotta have that. You know? So.
And we will have a link below if you guys are interested in any of the vendors or what have you. That was in attendance at the GEEK'D. There will be a link below for all you guys that would like to know. I always use my hand.
You just went into that like you were trying to win an Academy Award on Game of Thrones. And there will be a link below for all the vendors!
I do what I can.
What the hell was that?
I don't know.
Oh my god, you drink too much Monster.
Also among the vendors, artists, and voice actors, we had a few of our celebrity actors and wrestlers who were in attendance to the con. Among the wrestlers were Kevin Nash and Trish Stratus. I thought they were really nice people. They really were. I am not really big into wrestling per se because my brother is a huge wrestling fanatic. He was big into wrestling, so I never really jumped into that spectrum of fandom, but my brother's a huge wrestling fan. They had a big question answer WWE thing, and they were just really receptive to fans and very awesome and very nice people. So
I was a wrestling fan in like the early 80s and late 80s, so I kind of fell out of it in the 90s, and of course didn't keep up at all in the 2000s. A lot more wrestlers are at Comic-Cons and stuff lately, because it's almost every time I see some kind of comic book convention or, you know, GeekCon or something that there are wrestlers there. So I guess they've kind of merged the two. But you know, I know a lot of nerds that are into wrestling.
You know, we're
I'm
a
just
different
not one
type
of
of
them.
nerds. Yeah, we're the different type of nerds.
Going into GeekCon, one of the reasons I personally was excited is because there were going to be a couple of cast members from The Office there in attendance. And although it changed a little bit from the original lineup a few months ago, Oscar Nunez and Leslie Baker were there, who played Oscar and Stanley on The Office. And so that was a lot of fun. When you're at a con or when you're anywhere with a lot of celebrities, and you know, I of course I'm very accustomed to being around a lot of celebrities because because of the lifestyle I live. But still, it's strange. Like at one point, I was sitting, I don't know, I was looking at something, and I looked up and like Stanley, his name, you know, Leslie, but Stanley from The Office, like walked by, he was eating a pretzel. He was just standing there, and I was like, it's one of those like, ugh, you know, like just, but yeah, he was eating a pretzel. I saw him eating a lot of pretzels. I think Leslie Baker enjoys a good pretzel. I noticed him eating a couple of different pretzels throughout the
Walk away to con, you learn something.
Yeah.
There was also another actress there who was really sweet and nice as well. Her name is Samantha Smith. And you guys might know her from a little show called Supernatural. And she was also in Transformers. She was a sweetheart too. I mean, you can't really, I'm going to be talking a lot saying people are sweethearts, but honestly, if somebody wasn't as great, I think that would be its own video. Like, just forewarn guys, if we meet a celebrity who's not as friendly, wait, there'll probably be a whole video on that. Which it would be well deserved, because if you're an asshole, people should know you're an asshole.
I will say everybody was really nice. I think we'll probably go more in depth on a couple of people that we really spent a lot of time with. But yeah.
So stay tuned, because we will get there.
But I was very pleasantly surprised about how friendly everybody was. And even if you didn't, you know, even if you weren't necessarily getting an autograph, or, you know, even if they just had some extra time, you know, they would talk to you and like really pleasant, not just trying to squeeze money out of you.
I was actually really surprised about, well, one of them I wasn't, but one of the longest lines in the con, surprisingly, we saw this line going through the con. We're like, where's that line to? LeVar Burton had one of the longest lines. I mean, it was so, I'm not meaning it in a jokingly way. Like, oh, who likes him? Because, of course, we all like him, Reading Rainbow. You know, of course, my dad, Star Trek. You know, that's how I know him from, because my dad, if you guys know, I mentioned this many times, my dad is a huge, huge Star Trek fan. I don't know it voluntarily. I know it because my dad watches it all the time. So that being said, yeah, LeVar Burton had a long, and it was so funny because most of the, I saw one or two Shrekkies. I
wish there was some Shrekkies there.
There's like one or two Trekkies. I keep in line, but most of the people there were like with Reading Rainbow. It was really funny. So yeah.
When the convention first started, he definitely had the longest line.
Yeah, he really did.
Yeah, there were some when it first kicked off. There were some people that were yet to have anybody in line, and then he had like a super long line. So I was
it was crazy. And another long line was, of course, the one, the only, Merle. Michael Rooker, yes. He had the line out of anywhere. And he was just so friendly. He was talking to people, he was taking pictures. He was eating a tray of, he got, what were they, moon pies? And he was just eating moon pies, and it was so charming. He's just sitting there, and unfortunately, we didn't get to get a picture because by time the line was long when we first went, and we had to get to another Q&A that we wanted to see, and so we're waiting for the line to shorten. And by the time the line shortened, unfortunately, he was no longer taking selfies. So that's unfortunate, but no blame. We're not angry. We're not mad. But unfortunately, we didn't get to catch. We did get to see him, and we did get to say hi, and we did hear a couple of his interesting stories, and his Q&A was hilarious. So
I just thought of something.
What?
Do you think he was eating moon pies because he was in Guardians of the Galaxy?
No.
What's Guardians of the Galaxy's favorite snack?
Moon pies.
Starburst and moon pies.
And then there's that.
He really was eating moon pies.
He really was.
Maybe he was signing moon pies. That'd be funny.
And of course, we have Miss Tank Girl herself, Lori Petty. Yes. she was there, and she was fantastically sweet. Of course, I'm gonna be using that word too much. I think I need to come up with like different phrases to like basically talk about these celebs. But I'm not meaning this in a mean way at all by any means. But I didn't recognize her from any of the people at first, because I literally walked in there, and when we first got here, it was just starting, and like the lines were forming and what have you. So people were kind of gathering in spots trying to figure out the figuration of lines. And there's a lady that was standing like near us who had a big hat and sunglasses on. And I was just standing there. I was like, where's the line? And then all of a sudden, they're like, that's her right there. And I was like, and of course, what happened when I realized she was close, I turned and I walked the other direction, because you guys will hear I was the hardest person to get. I came up to some people and I was like, hey, how you doing? But there's a few that we are about to get into right now that I had a hard time meeting. But Lori Petty was a sweetheart. She was hard to pick out because she was very wondery. She walked around, kept talking. She talked to people, and she was very, very animated. I don't mean that in a negative stance at all. But she was very animated. She walked around, she talked, and everything. So that was very, very spirited, and I appreciated that.
I will say that, I love Lori Petty because I'm a huge Tank Girl. I was more of a Tank Girl comic book fan, but I also enjoyed the movie, and I went to see the movie when it was in theaters because I'm old. I love Lori Petty. I almost said Tom Petty. I also love I love Tom Petty as well, rest in peace. But Lori Petty, and I don't mean this as an insult, but she was dressed like a celebrity who didn't want to be recognized.
Yeah.
How she had like an oversized, like almost comic, like
Yeah.
the kind of like girls wear to music festivals, basically,
Mm-hmm.
and then like these huge sunglasses on. Mm-hmm. But in her defense, when you look at the picture of like who's going to be there,
Yeah.
she was wearing large sunglasses and a giant floppy hat.
True.
So it's like, I guess that's her thing. If she weren't sitting at a table with a sign behind her that said Lori Petty, probably wouldn't know she was Lori Petty. Which she probably has to do that a lot.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
I mean, Orange is the New
around.
Black.
Yeah.
That just went off. That was a really popular show. So she's probably used to dressing kind of incognito. But
there was also another celebrity who I met who, I was really happy to meet. And that was Miko Hughes. Yes. Miko Hughes. Oh my gosh.
Don't adjust your sets. Her face is probably turning red. I might have to finish talking for her.
We got engaged from Pet Sematary, the little boy in Pet Sematary, kindergarten cop. And yeah, he and of course we have the new Nightmare.
You named like one movie every other person was in, if even that. Now you're giving his entire filmography.
I know, and I'm getting kind of nervous too, guys. Sorry.
And he was in a McDonald's commercial.
No, he was in Spawn. He was in Spawn. He was in Spawn, one of my favorite movies, because I listen to the soundtrack. I listen to the Spawn soundtrack. Anyways, yeah. So I'm sorry, guys. I'm just talking about it right now, and I'm getting kind of flustered. But yeah, he's adorable, and I met him, and I was really nervous because I saw him, and he was actually cute in person too. He's just cute. He really, even Jesse said he was adorable.
I just wanted to give a little squeeze.
He was so cute, and he was so nice, and he's just, Anyways, I met him in person, and he was so sweet, and he was awesome, and I use that word a lot, but he was very charming, and he was, we talked for a minute. I told him about my channel, and he asked about my channel, and I told him about it as, I blushed and smiled
as he looked lovingly into your eyes.
Okay, hush. No, but seriously, he was really sweet, and he was very charming, and I hope I didn't have lipstick on my teeth, because that would have been really embarrassing, because I could not stop smiling, because he was just so sweet. And I told him about, everything going on, and I was just, nervous about, because, everything going on, and you guys know I collect pop vinyls. I collect horror pop vinyls, and I got my pop vinyl signed. See? And he said, no fair. Because you guys remember, that's my favorite, the ending, when you guys, can you play with mommy? everything is not fair.
They've seen the movie,
Sad.
Amanda.
I know, but I got it signed and
It's
it
one
was
of the
adorable.
You
and
know,
I
you
took
guys have seen that classic horror movie, right? You're watching a horror channel. But
Yeah, well,
have
you
you
know
guys seen
what?
Pet Sematary?
You know, I told him about my channel. I said, you know, you're on my countdown of, you know, cute kids and people. But anyways, yeah,
It's
so...
like, I'm on your countdown of cute adults.
No, but he is so sweet, and he was just really nice. And I told him about my whole story about, you know, getting back into, you know, conventions and just, you know, yeah, getting back in the hang of things. And he was really attentive, and he took a picture with me, and he was so nice. And I got a hug, and he took a picture of my shirt. So yeah.
You can go to your work. Now, where can we see these pictures? On your Instagram page?
Yes, you can see it on my Instagram page. You can see ChannelSundown Instagram page. You can see it on CUTIE CARNAGE Instagram. Guys, the links are below. And there was something I don't really remember because I was blushing kind of the whole time. That I think the lady he was with took a picture of us too. So yeah. So there might be another picture floating somewhere of me and him that I will soon collect and grasp and put in my hands and share it with the world. Anyways, we're gonna get to the best next topic. Guys, I'm even like blushing just talking about it. Anyways, guys, enough about that dude.
I think
Let's go to the next
people.
dude.
I think the people watching this are getting embarrassed. They're like,
I know, right? So let's go to the next one, guys.
We go to the next one. I might get the vapors. Who are we talking about next? I got a little case of the vapors myself when we met Mr. Richard Brake.
Oh, really?
From London, England. Woo!
Yes, he was awesome.
Yeah, Richard Brake, he was one of the main reasons I personally went. I know you want to go too. You guys probably know I love Mandy. You know, he's in all the...
Chemist!
Yeah, he's in the Rob Zombie movies. He was in Batman Begins. He was the Night King on Game of Thrones. I mean, he was just like... He played so many cool characters. And I am proud to say he was such a cool guy.
He really was.
Oh my God, he was so cool. Because I was a little nervous.
Yeah, he was, guys.
I really was a little nervous to meet him.
And I'm the one that drug him over there, and he was the first one I walked up to.
Well, you know, they say that you don't want to meet your heroes because they're going to be dicks. But I can honestly say he was not. We talked to him both days.
Mm-hmm.
The first day, I have a Mandy shirt that you guys have probably seen on my Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've worn it on here before. But, so I forgot to wear it the first day because I was wearing my ChannelSundown shirt.
Mm-hmm.
But I went over there and talked to him anyway, and I was like, oh, he was just like cool. He told us stories about Rob Zombie. He was telling us stories about being on the set of Mandy. I mean, he was just automatic. We weren't even there. Like I was like, hey man, I'm not getting anything signed today or whatever. And he didn't even care. I mean, he was just talking to us like we were like, oh, so you know, what do you guys do? And we, just telling us stories about the movies. He was so super cool, so laid back, so easy to talk to. Yeah, he was definitely worth it. So the second day, I went back with my Mandy shirt on, and he was like, "Oh, you got the Mandy shirt." So I got a picture with him, and he was definitely a highlight of the convention for me because I mean he was just such a cool, laid back dude, and he had so many. I felt like
He had so many stories.
at no point did he make me feel like, hey, all right, I need to wrap it up. I got a line behind me or whatever. I felt bad. I was like, hey, there's people behind us. Do we need to go? Because he was like,
that's
when I was filming Mandy, Nicolas Cage, he's real intense, and I'm like, oh, this. But it was so awesome because like, oh my God, he's talking about Nicolas Cage.
Matter of fact, it was funny because we actually were sitting there talking, and we're the ones that cut our conversation. We're like, okay, there's people behind us. We should go. Like we edited it but he was just and what was the. He was telling us the story, and guys, my memory is not totally there. But he was telling us how he filmed one night. He filmed the chemist scene with Mandy.
Yeah, he said he shot all his scenes with Mandy in one night.
Yeah.
But he was saying that even though even though that he was on the set long, that Nicolas Cage actually was there filming his scenes with him. And a lot of actors will get stand-ins or things like that. He said, but Nicolas Cage actually insisted on being there and filming the scenes with him, which was I mean, when you're I don't want to talk about this too long, but Mandy is like my favorite movie now. And just to hear like an actor from Mandy telling talking about Nick Cage, and talking about being on the set and talking about the director and everything. It was so cool to hear. It was just really, and then hearing talking about Rob Zombie and how Rob's one of my favorite director, and
he threatened to call Rob Zombie.
Yeah, he threatened to call Rob Zombie, and we were like, he said that he was really excited about Three. He's really excited about Three from Hell. He said it's really good. He was really hyped about it, which actually got me kind of more excited. I mean, I know it's his movie and it's his job to get people hyped about it, but he was so excited about it that actually it made me more excited for it.
Exactly.
The picture that he actually signed for us, it's from Three from Hell. He's wearing his disco sock shirt. It's so funny because he plays such a bad guy. He plays such a bad guy and everything, but he's such a nice guy. Like, it's weird that he plays villains. A bad guy, but he is such a cool dude.
And I was actually kind of nervous to be like, give me a hug, because like, you know, a lot of, you know, and I said, give me a hug, and he was like, oh! And I was like, yay, I got my second hug.
So I'm in love. He's my man crush now. He was my man. He was pretty much my man crush already. But anyway, cut.
There was one celebrity who I had a hard time, and before I get into that little stand-in, I'm just gonna say, I'm not gonna get depressing or anything, but when I was when I first got out of the hospital, when I first got out of, you know, my coma and stuff like that, I listened to music a lot, and a lot of things escape my memory. And I promise you, the one thing that I constantly, till this day, remember is the words to Rocky Horror Picture Show. Yes, I know all the songs, and I listen to it on a daily. When I'm editing, you can ask this guy, he's like, all the time. When I edit, or whatever we're filming days, I'm listening to Rocky Horror, or, you know, music all the time. And that being said, that kind of is something that I listen to and I remember. And when I was in the hospital in my coma, I missed meeting Tim Curry, and that really kind of sucked, you know, and it kind of hurt a little bit. Well, I found out that Barry Bostwick is Brad from Rocky Horror was gonna be there, and well, I was like, I'm going because I'm gonna meet him. We'll just say I got there, and, yeah, I had an issue. So, would you like to share?
She was a little nervous. She kept circling around his table like the vulture she is.
We walked around the con.
And I was like, Amanda, are you gonna go over there? You know, because at the time he didn't have like a long line or anything. And I was like, Amanda, if you're gonna go talk to him, this is the time. You know, because I kind of knew beforehand. We kind of knew we both had our own kind of mental wish list of who we really wanted to meet, who we were, you know, would kind of like to meet, you know, whatever. And I know that you're a rock. I mean, there's probably can't see it right now, but there's tons of Rocky Horror stuff behind us right now.
I have tons. I have my doll. I have my Frankenfurter. I have my Columbia doll. I have all my dolls. And, yeah, well, he was like, Amanda, there's no line, let's go. And I said, I want some cheese fries.
Yeah, you were obviously trying to, like, put it off. And so I was like, oh, my God. And then I finally realized that she was she was nervous about meeting him.
And
so I gently...
Yeah. By gently, I mean he grabbed my arm and we walked over.
Gently walked you over, and I explained to the lovely Mr. Bostwick that are you about to cry?
I almost did.
She did almost cry. That she was a little nervous about meeting him, and that she was special, and that not to be afraid, and please don't call 911 on us, because I think you were probably doing like this.
I was, and we talked, and I started talking, and then we talked about, he asked about everything, this guy, his name's Jesse. Jesse was like, you know, because I was nervous. I didn't know I was going to make it to the con, because, you know, after everything, it feels good getting back to cons and everything, but he was like, you know, he was just telling him my story and stuff, and the best thing that he said is, everybody would have been like, huh? But I thought it was the sweetest thing he ever said. He goes, I'm glad you're driving better.
Joke's on him. You can't drive at all.
I know, right? I can't drive at all.
He did say that though. That
Yeah.
was funny. He was a really sweet guy.
He did. And he hugged me, and and he gave me something.
And he even went through the. He even went through like pictures that he had in the bag that he had pulled out for other people to go let you look through them and see if there was any of those that you wanted to get signed.
Yeah.
But as a group effort, the three of us came together and I think we picked the best picture.
Yes, because he was like, "Who's your favorite character other than me, Amanda?" And I was like, "Oh," and I said, "I want a picture of you, Red." And you wrote, "Damn it, Amanda, I love you." Like if I'm playing wrote, "Damn it, Amanda, I love you." And this just makes my heart so big.
And just to show you what kind of sense of humor that Barry Bostwick had, one of my favorite things at the convention was he actually was selling pairs of tidy whities that he had signed, and I think it said "Damn it, Janet, I love you" or whatever. But he had a little thing on there next to it that said, "Help me put my kids through college. Buy a pair of my underwear." And,
yeah, he was like, "I have 2 kids in college," and it was really fun.
That was one of the funniest things I saw there. So yeah, just to show you what kind of fun guy he is. And if you're my mother, you might know him from the mayor on Spin City. I was like, Brad from Rocky Horror Picture Show. She's like, what? And I was like, the mayor on Spin City. Oh my God, he was there. So there were big celebrities there. That's what she said when I told her. I was like, there were big top celebrities there. She went, Spin City. That was a funny show.
It was.
Another really fun moment for me was there was a cosplayer there who was dressed like a xenomorph from the Alien franchise. And I was the first day we were there, I was actually wearing one of the Alien patches on my sleeve, and I think he noticed it, and like he was like, "Yeah, I noticed your pin over there," so I went over there and got my picture with him, and we got his. I don't know why you're laughing. And then we got his card, and we'll put a link down there. We'll put a link in the description because he's on Facebook, and he also has a YouTube channel. I'm gonna assume this is not his real name, but it may be. I'm sorry, I apologize, but it says Will the Alien. So I think it's Wild Alien, but it's spelled like Will WIL the Alien DALIEN cosplay, and he was really fun. He was super nice.
Yes, he was.
He had like a Chestbuster shirt that we like took a picture of, and he took lots of pictures of us, and he was just doing it for tips and stuff, and he was
donations.
Donations. I'm sorry, and he was super nice. But we'll put a link down there so you can check his stuff out too.
And he was really nice. And when he was talking, I just remember I was like, what do I look at? Because like he was at his alien, he was talking, and I was like, where's his eyes?
Right.
And I didn't know where to look at. But the reason why I'm laughing, guys, is because it was funny because I have issues with my temperature. And I was at the day after I was walking around with a sleeveless shirt, and I started freezing because the temperatures were getting higher outside, so the AC was getting lower, and I was getting chilly. So he let me use his shirt that had his alien badge, and nobody said anything. And then when I put it on, I just had it laying over me, and somebody was like, "I love your shirt." And then he was like, "No comments." And then as soon as you wear my shirt, you get comments. But yeah, it's because I was cold and people felt bad for me because I was freezing.
First off, let's acknowledge me for being a gentleman and giving you a lady in my shirt when she was cold.
I was freezing. Well, another reason too is that they wanted to stay longer at the con, and I kept saying that I wanted to go because I was freezing. I was like, I'm gonna go outside, and if you go outside, you have to go back in the line and get inside. So they were tired of hearing me bitch, so they're like, here. So it is what it is. But I have a special shout out. I had something made at the con for my daughter, who's a Ghostbusters fanatic. Although while we were traveling, my bag that had the business card and the information, because I told them I wanted to do a shout out on the video, was misplaced and has yet to be found, and I'm still looking for it. And when it is found, I'm going to make a shout out formally to this little store. But they made this for my daughter. It's a Slimer shirt. It said, "I ain't afraid of no ghosts." And that's awesome. So if you're watching and you are the vendor who made this, please hit me up and let me know your information, because it is unfortunately misplaced, and I'm very, very sorry to not be able to give you a personal shout out. So hit me up below if you're watching.
And she's on Facebook.
Yes.
Yeah, we definitely want to give them a shout out because they were super nice,
Yeah.
and like they especially made that one for her in her size, and they were just like really nice, and they had a lot of cool other stuff too. So yeah, we definitely want to give them a shout out.
Exactly. Guys, well, that concludes our feelings on 2019 GeekCon in Shreveport, Louisiana. We talked a lot about a lot of positives. There were a few negatives, although they're nothing we really want to focus on, being that we want to have, it was a positive experience. It was a fun experience. The main thing that I had a real kind of unfortunate timing with had nothing to do with the con itself. It's just there were a lot of people who were in attendance who were, and this is really funny for me to say this because you guys know I don't try to be PG or what have you, but there's a lot of inappropriate things being said and a lot of children around, and it really kind of frustrated me, you know, to hear, you know, just yelling across the room, F this, F that, and teenagers running around who were literally running past people and pushing them, and people were falling over and stuff, and it was, unfortunately, that's going to happen at any convention you go to, what have you. It's just, out of everything that was main, if I can even talk right, my main negative, but other than that, it was all positive. I enjoyed it. I just a little disclaimer I guess I have to say to people is, pay attention to your surroundings, and not everybody needs to hear you screaming, F you, F this, F the world. Like, it is a convention, but just come on, guys. Let's try a little bit. So I'm gonna get off my soapbox now. So that's all I had to say and everything. So other than that, it was a wonderful, great experience, and just like Comic-Con, you know, I enjoyed every part of it. So thanks so much, GeekCon.
We had a lot of fun.
You did.
I had an overall good experience, and I would go again next year.
Well said, Jesse. Well said.
I mean it. I mean it. GeekCon, I'm coming for you next year.
You're on a second date with GeekCon.
Especially if Richard Brake's going to be there.
I like my coffee.
I'll break my wallet.
Anyways, my crush is over. I'm done. Anyways, guys, remember to like and subscribe. You know, it says it right there. Like and subscribe. And what did y'all think of GeekCon? Have y'all ever been to GeekCon? Did you guys skip GeekCon? Are you guys interested in anything else that happened at GeekCon? Or do you want to know anything else that we experienced at GeekCon? And why I can't speak anymore? Let us know. Comment below. See what I did there? Bringing it. Anyways, guys. Until next time. Bye. Why does the motorcycle always have to go when we're ending a video? My neighbor has a motorcycle.
That's my ride.
He rides a little cart next to the bike.
Yeah, the little sidecar. My ride's here.
Beep, beep. We should have made it your size. It's not feminine enough for you.
It's too feminine for me.
It's not feminine enough for you, sir.